Let's be real for a second. Have you ever been scrolling through a dating app and just felt completely exhausted? You know, that feeling that the whole search for love today isn't just difficult, it's kind of broken. It's like we're all trying to follow a map, but all the landmarks just keep moving. Well, today we're going to try and figure out why that is.
I mean, just think about it. The swipe, the match, that whole carefully planned first date performance. We're not really meeting people anymore, are we? We're marketing ourselves. We put up our best pictures, write the wittiest bio, and we hope someone decides to, I don't know, add us to their shopping cart. It feels efficient, sure, but what's the real cost of treating human connection like it's Amazon Prime?
And this is the great paradox, isn't it? You'd think that having an endless catalog of potential partners would make loneliness a thing of the past. But for so many of us, it just seems to make it worse. The sheer amount of choice is paralyzing. It makes every connection feel temporary, replaceable. To really get to the bottom of this, we need to zoom out a bit. Our first guide on this journey is a sociologist named Zygmunt Bauman. He took one look at our fast-paced, always-changing world and gave it a name that just clicks. He called this the age of liquid love. So, Bauman's big idea is something he called liquid modernity. Here's how to think about it. Imagine the world our grandparents lived in was like a big block of ice. Things were solid, right? You got a job for life, you lived in one town, you had one marriage, till death do you part. It was rigid for sure, but it was stable. Bauman argues that that ice has melted. Now everything is fluid. Our careers, our homes, our very identities. And especially our relationships. Everything is just in constant motion. And you can really see that shift laid out right here. We've moved from a mindset of production, where love was something you had to build together, through effort, through a sense of duty, to a mindset of consumption. Now love is something you get, something you acquire for immediate satisfaction. The contract has changed from the security of for lifetime to the much more temporary until further notice. And this, right here, is the key. When our connections become fluid, they start to act just like any other product we buy. We judge our partners on the immediate satisfaction they bring us. And if that product has a flaw, or hey, if a better, newer model comes along, our consumer brain tells us it's time for an upgrade, an easy return. Bauman just puts it so perfectly here. We're applying the logic of the market to our hearts. The main question is no longer, what can we build together, but what's my return on this investment? And that whole way of thinking is designed to keep things light, to keep us from getting tied down, which keeps our relationships, well, liquid. So Bauman gives us the what, this liquid, consumer-driven way of loving. But to really understand the deeper why, why it all can feel so pointless, we need to bring in another voice, the philosopher Albert Camus. Camus said that the basic human condition is something he called the absurd. And look, it isn't just that life is meaningless, it's that we humans are meaning-seeking machines. We are desperate for answers. We're screaming our questions out into the cosmos. And the universe just gives us silence. The absurd isn't in us, and it's not in the universe. It's in that unbridgeable gap between the two. So how does this play out in our relationships? Well, we take this huge cosmic hunger for meaning, and we put all of that weight onto the shoulders of another person. We look at someone and we basically demand, you are going to be the answer. You will fix the problem of my life. But of course, no single person can possibly carry that burden. The world doesn't offer any ultimate meaning, and neither can they. They're just another person stumbling around, looking for their own answers in that same silent universe. And that gap, that chasm between the infinite meaning we demand from a partner and the finite reality of what one person can actually give, that is the heart of the romantic absurd. It's the engine that powers so much of our modern heartbreak. Just like Camus says here, it's a divorce. It's a confrontation. It's that awful, grinding friction when our romantic ideals slam up against the cold, hard facts of reality. So yeah, this all sounds pretty bleak, doesn't it? We're just consumers in a liquid marketplace, demanding ultimate meaning from people who don't have it to give. Which kind of begs the question, if all the old rules are gone and the search for the one is just a trap, what's left? I mean, is love just hopeless? Well, according to Camus, absolutely not. In fact, he would say that looking the absurd right in the eye isn't a dead end. It's actually the first step toward a life of genuine rebellion, radical freedom, and deep, deep passion. So here's his playbook. First, you revolt. You stare into the meaninglessness and you just refuse to give up. You say no to despair. Second, you find freedom. Once you stop hoping for some perfect future or some ultimate answer, you're finally free to live right here, in the present. And third, you live with passion. You commit to experiencing as much of life as you possibly can, in all its intensity. Okay, so here's the big shift in thinking. We have to change the job description we give to love. It's not the solution to life's problems. Instead, love becomes an act of defiance against those problems. To choose to love someone in this liquid, absurd world is to create your own small island of meaning, together, in a universe that doesn't offer any.
And all of this comes together beautifully in Camus' most powerful metaphor, his take on the ancient myth of Sisyphus. The story is simple. This guy, Sisyphus, angers the gods, and they curse him with the most pointless task imaginable. He has to push a huge boulder up a mountain, and every time he gets near the top, it rolls all the way back down. And he has to do this forever. It's the ultimate picture of a meaningless struggle. But this is where Camus finds the triumph. He says the most important part of the story isn't Sisyphus pushing the rock up. It's the moment he watches it roll down, and he starts walking back to the bottom. In that clear-eyed moment, when he completely accepts his fate, but he chooses to walk down and do it again, he's no longer a victim. He becomes the master of his own absurd reality. And this leads to one of the most incredible lines in all of philosophy. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. His happiness doesn't come from some dumb hope that the rock will stay at the top one day. No, his joy is found in the struggle itself. It's the meaning he creates by consciously and defiantly embracing his task. And this gives us a totally new way to define love. It's not a destination you arrive at. It's a process. It's not a guarantee of meaning, it's the act of creating it. Love isn't a product you consume. It's a conscious daily effort. It's choosing to push your rock up the mountain. It's finding someone whose struggle you admire and deciding every single day to push your rocks side by side. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What if the whole goal isn't to find the perfect partner who makes the struggle disappear? What if real love, lasting love, is finding someone who makes the struggle worthwhile? What if it's the beautiful, absurd, and heroic choice to create your own meaning together, one day at a time?